Hi, I'm going to talk for a few minutes about the effect of painkillers, opiates, on the human nervous system and what happens if someone takes too many of these painkillers. Albeit they've been prescribed the painkillers by doctors who are trying to relieve suffering and pain, but the effects of this level of prescribing of drugs, I should say, sometimes doesn't match the end result, which is after the pain and suffering has gone, the opiates are withdrawn very quickly, and should the patient have trouble stopping using these medications because of what's called the withdrawal phenomena, they can, if they're not treated properly by the system, end up in a situation where they have to go to other parties to break the withdrawal syndrome, suffering, and pain. I have a friend who, at age around her early 20s, had an accident and broke her back, was managed with painkillers, and then seemed to all subside and everything was fine. And then a second fall resulted in a much worse injury, several surgeries, and the result was going on extended amount of opiates for several years. During this period of time, which was in the late 70s, early 80s, the phenomena of dependency and what's now called opiate tolerance was not really understood. Now it's understood much better, but the state, i.e. Canada, i.e. Quebec, i.e. the powers that be in the medical community, have not kept pace with the volume of people who've been prescribed these medications and now suddenly are withdrawn from it involuntarily. The results can be disastrous. Disastrous from the point of view that the pain and suffering increases far too rapidly and is very uncomfortable, and is something that no citizen of Canada should have to endure. Worse than that, because now they need to get the medication, they are forced to turn to less legitimate opportunities to get it, and their life starts to deteriorate even worse. That's the extreme. The story that I'm going to introduce now is of someone who never really had to go onto the streets to get her medication, but nevertheless suffered intensely due to mismanagement of her opiate tolerance. The simple solution to all this is to decriminalize the use of these medications, make them more available, but put the person who's using them under the close, careful, I would even go so far as to say loving care and understanding of the trouble they're going through, and find for them the best possible solution. Each patient, each human being is different. We have a different chromosomal makeup. We have a different set of experiences in the past of our life. And one solution is not good for everyone. The cost of managing so-called drug addiction is in the billions of dollars. The cost of putting the management of opiate tolerance could not possibly even approach that amount. Pharmacists can be trained to manage 95% of patients who have a substance abuse or a substance tolerant problem. In a country like Canada, we have the resources. We can lead the world, in fact, and we should. I'll let my friend tell her story, and then you decide what's the best for our country.